Welcome, everyone. We're back again. It is what it is, or is it? And of course, I'm your host, Kay Francis. And for any new listeners, let me welcome you to our community, as I call it, our chat by the fireside. I don't think you can see the fireside from where you are, but there is one here. And I just like the sound of it. Okay, but we are sitting next to one. I have a topic today that I'm really, really interested in sharing with you. It's a little different than some of them, but it's the topic that I chose, and it's called Do You Follow Up and Follow Through? And it's a very important topic for people because it has to do with your personal success. And I thought you might want to hear about that because for those that are new, we have many different topics, some very therapeutic, some not so much to do with psychology as to do with, general information. But today is for more your personal thoughts on the subject because this affects everyone, whether they're in the workplace, whether it's their relationships with coworkers, it affects every part of your life. And you may or may not even realize that that's what it does. Because we talk about success. Well, how do you define it for yourself? Is yours about I'm successful if I'm wealthy and I'm not successful if I'm not? What is success to you? Is it your belief system? Do you punish yourself for all kinds of things that keeps you from being successful? There's a lot of different ways to be successful. You can be successful in your walk with the Lord. And that's what a lot of people would consider success. And it's worthy of being considered success. When you get in trouble is when you don't follow up and follow through on what you're supposed to do, what you're trying to achieve, an accomplishment, whatever it is, whatever it is. You could be a school teacher. You could be a doctor. You could be a server in a restaurant. It could be anything and have success. That's up to you. It's how your attitude is, what your motivation is, and how much you are willing to follow up and follow through. There are many people that are very creative or inventors even, but unless they follow up and they have determination, which is built into the following up, and they're secure in what they believe in, and they're determined, and they don't get discouraged easily. They have that stick-to-itiveness, and then comes that follow through. Because to just do follow up and not follow through on it, it's not going to be the success I think you would like. And that success isn't based on only money. Anyone can do it. How many poverty-stricken people have risen to the top? Quite a few. How many have had horrific childhoods and have gone beyond it, worked through it, let it go, and so that they could have a success in life? How about managers? How about companies, small companies? What makes them successful? It's usually good managers that really know how to run a team because it takes a team. Like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a team to make a company work. And there's a lot of complaints about the ones way at the top that they don't really know how to do it in a way to empower their people. And if you're a private business or working for a company, it's really important to realize that success is defined very differently, but it's the bottom line is there's none in your relationships aren't as successful as they could be, or in business, not official. You take a manager, and let me tell you, the ones that are dictators, that aren't good listeners, authoritative, get the job done because they think this is strong and that's a strong manager, you couldn't be more wrong. Give me the manager who listens, number one, his door's open, her door's open, and they really listen. They don't have to prove that they're a big shot or that they're empowered. They have to empower them. That's when you get the respect, the production goes up, the quality of their work is better because they want to do a good job. What you've just done that has made that person, that worker, perform better, feel good about you, begin to trust you, begin to respect you, and want to work hard for you. That's success, my friend. And let's look at relationships. You have trouble in relationships. Well, what's the common denominator if it's all relationships you're in? Common denominator has to be you, right? But you don't want to accept that. It has to be everybody else. But think about that for a minute. You don't care about success? Well, then keep doing what you're doing and you won't have any to worry about. But if you really want success, and I'm not talking just money, I'm talking about success with relationships, all kinds of relationships. Do you realize that everything you do in this world will involve some level of relationship, whether it's a boss, whether it's a parent, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, let's go on. You interact with people or need to all the time. If you're isolated, I feel sad for you, actually, because that tells me that you really lack compassion and understanding of other people, that you're very opinionated and you're very jealous. And that's unfortunate because that stops people wanting to be with you. Life is a funny thing. We don't have to like everyone. We're not going to probably like everyone if we're honest. But that doesn't mean that we have to prove ourselves by being critical, judgmental, or nasty. Not at all. That's not successful. If you don't take the actual control of yourself and the courage to own your own mistakes or to own your own behavior and actually want to change it, then it doesn't matter how much money you have. There was one very successful manager that I had the opportunity to work with. And one of the things that I loved the way he did, he was in sales. One of the things that he was doing with his people that I didn't have to change or touch or do anything with because it was excellent, was he taught them that when you go into the customer, you don't try to sell them a thing. You don't try to sell them a thing. And you need that sale because you're up maybe for a promotion or maybe it's your own company. How many people have you talked to and they've got big ideas? And some of them are really good. It's not that their ideas are off. Their mind is great that way, creative, whatever you want to call it. But then they don't follow up or follow through. So where are they in the end? They're not further ahead. So it's a matter of owning what you have got to learn yet and realize that, hey, you don't know everything. There's always somebody that's going to know more than you. There's always somebody that you could learn from. People want to be heard too. They don't want to just listen. They want to be heard. And it's so easy for people to ignore what can be theirs. And they're the only ones stopping it because they don't follow up and they don't follow through. And you can have the biggest invention in the world, but if you don't follow up and follow through, guess what? It's not going to go anywhere. Or you're going to tell the wrong person that's going to be stolen from you, your idea, or whatever, with someone who is going to follow up. They see a good thing. So when you're so caught up in yourself, sometimes you don't see what the stumbling blocks can be or what can ruin what you want to accomplish. You don't see it. You're so set on getting that backing or whatever it is, or getting what you want out of it that you think. I had a patient say something that I thought was such a good thing that her father said to her that I'm going to repeat it to you. Her father taught her that there's 3 things that no one can take away from you. No one. No matter where you are in life, whether you're wealthy, poverty-stricken, whatever, here's what no one can take away from you: your education, your reputation, and your salvation. I thought that was marvelous that he taught her that. what I'm really telling you is that don't lose out on what you're capable of and what probably is your purpose, because if you're good at it, it should work. And the only thing that'll get in its way is if you don't follow up and follow through. You have to be dependable that way for yourself. You can have all the compassion in the world and be wonderful with people. And then people are. We've got wonderful people walking in this world. We don't get to meet them all, but one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. I've worked with many of these kind of people. And what stops them is they sabotage themselves because of something that they don't feel confident about and they don't understand what it is yet, or something that they feel insecure about, that they don't understand quite yet how it's affecting them. And I'm going to tell you something today. With many of the believers that I've worked with, they seem to be able to get it faster. That is, if they walk the talk, not just talk about it. In fact, that's hypocritical and probably gives Christians the bad name, because there's plenty of them, like in anything. People that really catch on and people that don't. But I'm not getting into any of that. I told you from the very beginning, we're not going to talk about politics or religion, other than I wanted you to know up front that I was the believer, so that if I did bring anything up, like say a passage from the Bible that says, "So you sow, you will reap," I think that's a pretty strong. And if you do read the Bible at all, it'll answer just about any question you want it to. It's kind of an amazing book. I guess it's one of why it's been the bestseller so long. So without getting into religion, I just want you to know that you can really have what you need if you first define success, not just based on how much you have. If you define success reasonably. Do you know I've never had a day that I didn't want to come to work? And I wish everybody could have that. I just was very fortunate and very blessed and ended up getting into something that I didn't know at the time that I would love. You don't have to love your job necessarily, but you can make good friends there, or you could meet people that could help you along the way. And if you find you don't have those kind of people in your life, and that you're not having those close relationships, and that their conversation is more one-sided, meaning you, versus the other, then if you don't own it, you'll never get over it. Or are you someone that won't let go? I end every session talking about letting go, and I'm telling you to let go of the things that keep you not liking yourself, really. Even though you think you're great, you may be recognizing but not everybody else thinks you're so great. And because you're to yourself, it isn't that they're doing it to you. So however you define success, think about it, number one, but be willing to know that no success comes personally or in the business world or anything you're doing if you're not willing to follow up and follow through. Yes, you need determination, you need stick-to-itiveness, and you certainly are giving up too fast if it isn't what, if it's not something you like, you're not going to work at it. So what can I tell you? But people talk about living their dream. You better know how to follow up and follow through if you want to carry that dream forward. So what do I wish for all of you today? That you know how to follow up and follow through. And if you don't, learn. It's a skill. You're not born knowing how to follow up and follow through, just as communication's a skill. So do yourself a favor, check yourself out. Don't be afraid to look at the reality or the truth, because there's no one here that's always done it right and it's good at everything. So take a deep look. Does that make sense? I hope so. So have a great 2 weeks. Give it some more thought. Follow through and follow up. And maybe you're going to find your success. I hope so. I would wish that for you. So with that, we end today. And I'll see you in a couple weeks. And welcome to the new people. And keep those comments coming. I enjoy answering you. So with that, I want you to remind you and remember, always keep your faith. Never give up. And last but not least, know when to let go so that you can follow up and follow through. Don't let Don't sabotage yourself from any of your past history. Be willing to change. Thank you very much, and God bless.